Dear Amy, I feel like I can confide in you. I hope I'm not overstepping my bounds. You've been a good friend to me these past few months despite our never meeting face to face, although I hope to have the opportunity to soon. I found this letter a difficult one to pen, what with us only being silent voices to one another. Where does the line get drawn in such a relationship? First, let me start by saying, what I've done was not without good reason, although I'm sure my reasons won't be accepted by many, if any. I know I can count on you, however. I was given permission. Well, permission might not be the right word. They had told me to do it. It's not the first time they've spoken to me, told me to do things. Most of the time they offer random, inconsequential advice. Where to go or what to have on the menu. But they usually speak to me at a point of indecision, which I must admit has been somewhat helpful. I welcome the small interruptions of insanity. But that's not to say I've forgotten who I am. I'm not sure how much of my personal distress I've mentioned before. It's nothing I'm too proud of. I understand that my anger issues will never fully be resolved. It's just who I am. Nothing satisfies. I can't find peace in anything. Admittedly, I'm a hardened cynic with no confidence in anyone. I just eke through each day with intermittent flip-outs every so often. Usually a loud scream or a barren area does the trick. Although, lately I'm not afforded such a luxury. The hardest thing for me is keeping my episodes from my daughter. I don't want her to see me like this. As you know, my mother has been living with me for some time, since my father's passing. The loss was tragic enough, and to endure Mum's slow decline into senility has become too much to bear. I'm allowed no concentration. I can't think. My life as I know it is over. I don't deserve this. Do I? Many times I would stand beside her, while she sat in Dad's old chair, rotting. I guess the feel of something of his was a comfort to her. She never moved. She never made a sound. She'd just stare at the TV all day. I'd scarcely think she was even watching it. Everything around her ceased to exist. Even the joys of her granddaughter, my daughter, her little Hannah, wouldn't merit a reaction. I finally confronted her, but my pleas were unheard. She would just stare right through me as if I wasn't there. I've reached the end of my rope. Yesterday, I had attempted to fix the screen door in the back, something I'd put off for some time. The volume on the TV was so loud I felt the speakers might blow out. Clearly, she had moved. She had the remote. She turned it up. And in my head I only thought this was done to initially irritate me. With tools in hand, I approached my mum and asked her if she was okay again. Still nothing. I finally felt my madness swelling. I let go of my tool bag and let the weight of the metal fall hard into the ground. It caused a clatter that was ear-shattering. It hurt me. But I didn't want to miss any flinch she might have given. I stifled the pain, gritting my teeth. Remembering then Hannah was still upstairs. Her door was closed, but she heard it. There was a point of several seconds I can't recall. The next thing I remember is hearing them say, "Go back." And I was standing over my mother holding the hammer in such a way it felt more like a weapon than a tool. A wave of calm came over me until I realised what I'd done. The claw end of my hammer was embedded in my mother's head. In my mind I hadn't done this, but all accounts will say I did. Whatever illusions or feelings I had disappeared. My shock gave way to worry, thinking now of Hannah, and how I couldn't allow her to see this. I wish they would speak to me now. I could use the advice. I had gotten to her door upstairs just as she was coming out. I don't know if she had noticed my hysterics at the time, but I quickly moved her back into the room. I could see she was worried, but my efforts to calm her only seemed to confuse her further, and she began to cry. She grew more and more upset until I could no longer hold her. and all I could do was hug her. I did so tightly until she finally went quiet. And still, she'll understand what happened one day. One day I'll be able to tell her what had happened and why it was the decent thing to do. She's been sleeping since yesterday. Even now, sitting next to her, writing this, I find it difficult to cope. I managed to stand a moment ago, the first time in hours, and I noticed that the house is as quiet as it's ever been. Even my head, quiet, they're gone. And I once again find myself at crossroads. So often they've come to help me. However, I feel they've abandoned me. Before I came back to finish this letter, I stood in the middle of the room, crying. I felt lost, I guess I still do. I think soon I'll take Hannah downstairs and the three of us will have a meal together before I bring her mum to the house. As far as I know, it hasn't been sold yet. It was my parents' home for almost 50 years. I know she'll like it there. I figure after I'll pack Hannah and head out. By the time you get this, I'll already be on my way. I just need a friend. Someone to talk to me, you know. I'd really love to meet you face to face. And you can even meet my daughter. I've told her all about you. I hope it's not too much to ask. Until then, best wishes.